I am at Cadillac Ranch in Amarillo, Texas. It is very exciting to be here because this is my first ever visit to the Cadillac Ranch, which is one of the most iconic roadside attractions in the United States of America. It is also one of the most famous Route 66 fixtures, as it sits right alongside old Route 66. In fact, it's now a ritualistic and mandated stop for any Route 66 traveler. From this decommissioned segment of the Mother Road, you can see the silhouettes of the Cadillac Ranch in the distance, way out there in this wide open and never-ending field. Graffiti plays a big part in the Cadillac Ranch experience. You can see they do keep dumpsters out for spray paint cans, which themselves have fallen victim to the spray paint. This sign has some select words censored. It's a national treasure maybe? I'd say so. In case you haven't caught on yet, literally everything is graffitied here. This rule seems to be more of an optional thing. After passing through a little gate, I'm on the path to get up close to the Cadillac Ranch. The dirt pathway itself has been graffitied with symbols and phrases and scribbles. There's an alien. It's actually quite well done. And since this is the long, dark, intense summer of 2020, there's a lot of politically charged messaging here. Alright, made it to the Cadillacs. And seeing these Cadillacs half buried in the ground raises the question of who created such a random attraction and why. This was the creation of a San Francisco hippie art collective called the Ant Farm, and they installed it originally 2 miles east of here in 1974. Their silent donor with this project was an eccentric Amarillo billionaire named Stanley Marsh III. Although he would always use a 3 instead of the Roman numerals in his name because he thought it was intuitive, Marsh funded a few strange public art projects around here. He liked to prank the locals with some really weird stuff. As you can see, there are 10 Cadillacs half buried, nose down at a 45-degree angle in the dirt. They're facing west and were purposefully placed at the same angle as the Cheops pyramids. The hippie artist originally intended this to be a tribute to the evolution of the Cadillac tail fin, and the cars are set in by chronological model order, starting with the 1949 Club sedan to the 1963 sedan DeVille at the end. The early visitors back in the 70s began defacing the cars and ripping pieces off, including the tail fins. The Ant Farm and Stanley Marsh III didn't really care about the defamation of the cars. They actually encouraged it, so for nearly 50 years now, travelers have been defacing and spray painting all over these Cadillacs, which are stripped down to their battered frames. In fact, they're more paint than car at this point. I didn't bring any spray paint with me, I've just come to admire this strange anarchical art paradise. But I probably will do some graffitiing during future visits. If you do paint something on the cars, even if it's really nice, it will be totally covered up probably within an hour or two. The ranch really is just out in the middle of nowhere seemingly. There's just miles of fields surrounding the ranch. People tend not to follow the no littering rule. There's lots of paint cans and caps lying around. And there's also some cow turds, but I won't show you that. Cadillac Ranch has inspired some offshoot attractions, like the Slug Bug Ranch east of Amarillo. I did visit that and have a separate video on that. There's also Combine City south of Amarillo. I went there. And Cadillac Ranch also inspired Carhenge in Nebraska. Now that's a place I really want to go to. So, that was Cadillac Ranch. A really bizarre roadside attraction, but it's awesome and I intend on returning many times and even to make a little graffiti on this American landmark. Just down the road from the Cadillac Ranch on Route 66 is the Cadillac RV Park and Gift Shop, which is not affiliated with Cadillac Ranch, but it has its own unique roadside goodness. This is the Second Amendment Cowboy. The Cowboy is actually a muffler man. He's not an original one from the 60s. He was made about 20 years ago by Glenn Good, who has his own collection of muffler people in Gainesville, Texas. This muffler man was originally at a steakhouse here in Amarillo, not the Big Texan, and when that closed he was brought here in 2014 and was repurposed into a redneck cowboy muffler man. This is very amusing, also very fitting here in Texas. It actually has an official Texas historical marker on the Second Amendment of the Constitution, which states that a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, in all caps. There's also a quote by George Washington on the necessity of self-defense. So there you go, the freaking Second Amendment Cowboy. That's interesting. Behind the Second Amendment Cowboy, there's a smaller and cleaner version of Cadillac Ranch. All of these upended beauties are fully above the ground and are well restored. On these you can actually appreciate the classic tail fins, which are long absent from Cadillac Ranch. And when looking at the first Caddy, I noticed that there's actually a wax figure of John Wayne inside. He probably would have been a big fan of the Second Amendment Cowboy. It appears that Willie Nelson is driving the middle Cadillac on the road again. Can you guess who's inside the pink Cadillac? None other than Elvis Presley himself, in his full jumpsuit attire. So these angled Cadillacs with creepy wax dummies and the Second Amendment Cowboy are a really awesome and fun bonus to visiting Cadillac Ranch. I'm now going to be heading west on the road again, here driving on Route 66 right next to that dastardly interstate. Passing by downtown Amarillo, Texas. There's a lot of cows around Amarillo. I'm going to be heading into the Land of Enchantment to continue this road trip. I hope you enjoyed the Cadillac Ranch. I sure did. Please consider subscribing to my channel and also go watch my other Route 66 videos and all my other videos at roadside attractions and much more. Thanks for watching.